Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you are viewing this. Welcome to another episode of A Christian Perspective under 5 minutes. Let's talk about the waiting. Waiting. It is something that we detest. We don't like to wait because we are cultured in a society where we are on the go. We need it now. We need it right now. We are like the immediate generation, the suddenly generation. What we have failed to realize is that there are benefits of waiting. The waiting period is the period where is one of the periods that God has designated for our development. You see, where we are presently waiting, God is not there with us, in the sense that that's not where God is. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. We are now in 2024, for example. God is gone way ahead. Probably is in our life where he's at now is 2028, 2030. So what happened is that now God is preparing us during the waiting period. So the waiting period is a place of development. It's a place of growth. It's a place of preparation for us to be fully equipped to receive and handle carefully what God has already prepared for us in the future. The waiting period also is a place where God allows us to come to know ourselves at a better place, a deeper place. Because truly, we know our names, our date of birth, our addresses, and we think that's all that is to us. No, there are deeper truths to each and every one of us. And it is in the waiting period, it is in the time of the waiting that the Lord now reveals ourselves to us. I remember in a waiting period, I realized that one of the things that I needed to address were past hurts, past failures. And some persons, in the waiting period, we recognize that we are highly comparing ourselves to others. And those things can be negative. They can drown us, they can kill us. And so in the waiting period, God allows us to know who we are. In the waiting period also, we come to that place of truly accepting and trusting God. We understand that we cannot do it on our own. This is all about God. The waiting period is not a period for us to mess up or to not reap everything. A powerful mistake that we can easily make in the waiting period is to not gain or not learn the lessons that God has prepared for us in the waiting period. The waiting period is powerful. It's hated, it's not loved, but it's powerful. Another benefit of the waiting period allows us to take on or start seeing through different lenses, getting different perspective. Prior to the waiting period, we saw things one way probably. But now while we are in the waiting period, we have now been given different lenses and we can see things now through different perspective. We can now see things from someone else's viewpoint and appreciate also what another person is thinking or why they act the way they act. The waiting period is very rich. Under 5 minutes, A Christian Perspective, with your host, Leo Stone Morrison. Let us no longer be a hater of the waiting period, but rather let us reap everything that we can in the waiting period. God bless you. See you for the next episode next week, right here